Push through and conquer your differences. Never let them stop you from being great or being amazing. Hi, my name's Elijah Hedgman, and honestly, I never thought I would have to make a video like this. Now, technically, I don't have to. However, because of who I am, because of who I want to be, I'm choosing to make this because I'm addressing a problem that should have been addressed years and years ago and technically was. It just unfortunately hasn't changed, even though we're in a very different society now. So, it would have been nice if it did. But hey, sometimes unfortunately things don't change. And when that becomes a problem, people should speak out. So that is what I'm doing. Okay, so I recently figured this out, or found this out, I think yesterday, 2 days ago. I'll link the short that I'm referring to in the description, just so that way if y'all didn't see it, you can check it out as well. But y'all know the show Stranger Things, right? Well, apparently the quote unquote token black kid, I'm using that because that is what was said in the video. Apparently that's a thing, which I get it because that person is, I think, the only or one of the only African American people in the show. However, this is my problem with that because I found out from this short. Apparently, y'all know Caleb McLaughlin, right? Or I don't know how to say his last name. I'm sorry if I butchered his last name. But regardless, y'all know him. We know him. We love him. He's amazing. Apparently, because he's black, that has affected a lot. AKA, like I said, number one, him being called the token black kid on that show. Or number two, him being able to find work overseas or find work because he's black. And unfortunately, we live in a society where being of the minority race, whether it's black or Hispanic or something else, apparently that is still an issue, which sucks because you, again, would think with the world that we live in now that that wouldn't be an issue anymore. But no, unfortunately, racism is always going to be a thing. Racism is most likely never going to stop, as much as I wish, and I'm pretty sure many people wish that it would. And that's just a sad reality that we all still have to deal with. So, unfortunately, that's that. However, that does not mean that we cannot speak out against it. And guess what? It may not be Black History Month yet. However, we're getting pretty dang close to it. And I can promise you, when we get there, just like I did, I believe, last year, I'm going to make a video about this again. Maybe not about this literal topic, but I'm going to make a video about Black History Month because I am half African American. That is something that touches deep with me. So I'm going to speak on it. I'm speaking on this because not only am I half African American, and this hurts that this is the case, that another person out there who's African American is getting shunned or feeling like they're getting shunned just because of the color of their skin. But it sucks that once again we are in 2024 and this is still the reality of the world that we live in, where maybe that person feels that way, or maybe it's actually happening, and the only reason it's happening is because they are African American. That is not okay. So, this is my way of saying to anyone out there who feels that way, I want you to sit down, take a deep breath, look in the mirror, ask yourself, who are you? Ask yourself, what do you want to be? How are you going to get there? Do you know how? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you how. Forget what the world thinks about you. Don't let the world define you. The world does not define who you are. The world does not get to define who you're going to be. The world does not get to tell you what you can do or what you should do. No, the world doesn't get to have that say. That is up to you and you alone. Period. So, maybe you don't know who you're going to be or what you want to be. Guess what? That's okay. But when it stops being okay is when you start letting the world tell you who you are and who you should be or who they think you can be. No, the world doesn't get to do that. The world doesn't get to judge you based on the color of your skin or based on where you come from or based on, you get what I'm saying. The world doesn't get to define you based on stuff like that. Where you come from or who you are, so what? As long as you're a good person and you're just trying to make it in this world, you deserve a chance, just like anyone else does. Embrace your differences. Because guess what? Whether it's the color of our skin or something else, every single one of us is different in their own way. Every single one of us has our own differences and is different in our own way. And that's not a problem. That should never be considered a problem. And the fact that this world still considers that an issue, whether it's something like the color of your skin or something else, that's an issue to me. I don't appreciate that. No one else should either. You are not defined by the color of your skin or anything related to that. You're defined by who you are on the inside and who you want to be. If you want to make it in this world and you're a good person, you deserve that chance. Look in the mirror. Close your eyes. Tell yourself this simple fact. I can make it. I will make it. And I will do anything it takes, as long as I can, to climb up to the top. Because everyone deserves that. And so do I. And I'm here to tell you, guess what? You do deserve that, regardless of who you are. You can do this. You know how I know that? Well, simple. In this video so far, I mentioned skin color being an issue. Y'all already know this about me. I'm half African American. I'm half Hispanic. Maybe that might not be an issue depending on where I go, but that's still an issue in the society that we live in, unfortunately. But guess what? I'm not going to let that or my disability define me. Why? Simple. Because I know what I want in this world. And I'll do whatever it takes to get it, as long as it doesn't mean hurting anyone else or doing anything illegal. Because again, that is not who I am either. But as long as I know I can do whatever I can to get to the top, and as long as I know what I have to do to see my dreams succeed, I'm gonna do it. The world may fight against me, but so what? The world's been fighting against me from day one. That's the same thing with every single other person in this world. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from getting to where I need to go. And neither should any of you. Your differences don't define you. You define your differences. See what I did there? Everyone's different. That's just the truth. So what? It's how you use those differences to your advantage that determine what kind of person you're going to be and determine who you want to be. If people look at you differently because you're different, guess what? Do the same to them. Everyone's unique and different in their own way. Don't let your differences stop you in this world. It's a cruel world. Very cruel. But that doesn't mean that you should just sit back and take the punches. Take the punches, then give one back. And if you're not going to give one back, brush it off. Keep going. You can do it. I believe in you. Now all you have to do is embrace your differences and believe in yourself. Your differences are what make you you. Your differences are what separate you from everyone else. And that's the same for every single person out there. So you want to know something? In a way, think about what I just said. Your differences make you you. But your differences, in a way, also make you the same as every other person. Because every single person is different. Your differences should never define you. You deserve everything just as much as the next person. And to Caleb, hope you're doing well. May not know you personally, but I can tell you right now, your character on that show is definitely one of my favorites. Now, I will say this. The other reason I decided to make this is because I do understand why he was upset. Because from what I was, or not told, but from what I found out in the video, he was a bit PO'd. Spoiler alert. I'm not really going to get into it because, this doesn't really have to do with the show, but it does have to do with the character and the meaning behind it. He was a bit upset, or just angry, period, overall, that people kind of praised and were sad about a certain character's death and about a certain character's, I guess, how their life ended up, based on the fact that that character in the show was extremely racist and very horrible to his character. And I get that. Trust me, I do. Here's my thing. I understand that. But at the same time, this right here is what I'm talking about. Everyone's different. It's a show. At the end of the day, I don't know if they're friends. I hope they are. But at the end of the day, outside of the show industry and outside of characters, those differences in the world we live in should not matter anymore. We are in 2024. Leave segregation, leave skin color, leave all of that in the past. Why are we still judging people on that? Everyone's different. We all bleed red at the end of the day. It's just a simple fact. Your differences are what make you you. But once again, your differences are what make you the same as anyone else. Go out there and conquer the world. Every single one of you can do it. Every single one of you have been doing it from the moment you came into this world. So continue doing it. Love you guys. Hope you enjoy this video. And once again, remember what I said. Your differences are what make you you. But your differences are also the exact thing that makes you the same as every other person. And that right there is just the truth.